Everybody come a little closer. And if you have banners, signs, or if you just feel like it, you can come up on the steps here. So yeah, don't be shy, this is our building. So everybody come up, get closer together. If you're thinking about coming up here right now, please do. Great, welcome everybody. Today the Michigan Resistance Movement has come together to tell our legislators loud and clear, it's time for you to jump off the Trump bandwagon.
Hey, can I get up there, man? Yes! Yes! Can I get up there?
We will not stand for you attacking sanctuary cities and being part of the racist movement of scapegoating immigrants and Muslims. We call on Governor Snyder to pardon Iraqi Christian immigrants who are facing deportation death sentences. And we say that Black Lives Matter. 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 We demand clean water and health care as human rights. We demand that public education be a priority in Michigan, not tax cuts for the rich. And we pledge to stand up to neo-Nazi terrorists committing hate crimes across our country. These are our demands because our representatives, if you continue on the path that you are going on, we promise that we will remove you. We must do all in our power to make sure that you are gone, the same way that Trump is going to be gone. He's not going to make it to 4 years.
Black Lives Matter.
We are also here to do more than just make demands of our representatives. As activists, we have to have a broader discussion about what we do next. Because our society is in crisis. It's as bad as or worse than some of us feared. And our normal channels of political action are failing us. What do we do when petitions and phone calls aren't enough? What do we do when we can't afford to wait for the next election cycle?
Still resist.
I believe there's two very important things that we should be organizing now, in addition to marches and rallies like this. One is creating more and bigger rapid response teams across the state of Michigan to protect our families, friends, and neighbors from ICE and from hate crimes and from whatever other emergencies arise in our community. Rapid response teams are teams of activists that are prepared to come together at a moment's notice to defend our community. In Ann Arbor, we have a rapid response team that has 450 people signed up. We have their cell phone numbers. And when we get a call to our hotline that someone has seen ICE in our community, we send out an alert and we call activists to that location. Okay, this can also be used for any other threats we're facing as the fascists try to organize in our state and in our country. We mobilized our rapid response team when we heard that ICE was doing a raid at Sava's, a restaurant in Ann Arbor. And we also mobilized our rapid response team the day that over 100 Iraqi Christians were arrested by ICE. People were protesting at the Rosa Parks building, and we sent out an alert. And we were part of the group that blocked a bus that held Iraqi detainees for over an hour. And we are going to need to start doing more direct action of that sort to keep our people safe. If you're prepared to join or to start your own rapid response team, I think that's one of the most important things that we can accomplish today. Kelly has a sign up. Where's Kelly?
Black lives matter. I want to hear that. Let's say it again. Let's say it again.
All lives matter.
Yeah. Black lives matter. 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 Great. Where is Kelly with the clipboard? Okay, we'll point her out later. Yes. Okay, Kelly, sign up to start or join a rapid response team with Kelly. Okay, the other thing that I think that's really important that we do right now is to go to the churches, synagogues, and mosques in our community and start preparing them to give sanctuary to undocumented immigrants. I know we've already started this work, but with the attacks on DACA, we may be looking at having to house and protect people ourselves on a mass scale. Trump said that he's not going to prioritize DACA recipients for deportation, but we know we can't trust that. We don't know what is coming at us. So we have to start organizing our communities to defend ourselves no matter what Trump decides to do, no matter what Congress does or fails to do. Because it is up to us to protect each other. To stop the destruction of all the good that there is in our society. The things that were won by the civil rights movement and by other activists. To stop Trump. To stop Trump from starting a nuclear war or conventional war. To get rid of him, to get rid of Pence, to get rid of the whole administration. And to take our society back, not back to what it once was, but to something better.
Yes. Yes. Stop Trump now!
Stop Trump now! Stop Trump now! Stop Trump now! Stop Trump now! Stop Trump now! Stop Trump now! You are about to hear from a lot of great organizers from across Michigan. At this rally, we tried to have the actual organizers of what is going on in our city speak. Our plan is to have speakers for about an hour, and then we're going to go into the Capitol. We want to go to the House of Representatives, which is on this side, and we're going to go up 3 flights of stairs, and we're going to make our voices heard and be very loud inside the Capitol. All right, thank you, everybody.
No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA.
No Trump! No KKK! No fascist USA! No Trump! No KKK! No fascist USA! No Trump! No KKK! No fascist USA! Okay, our first speaker is Jessica Martin from Michigan for Revolution. And if you're a speaker, can you please come up here and check in? Okay, we're gonna move on. Wait, is Jessica here?
All right, sorry, I just drove from Kalamazoo and literally just got here. So I don't know if you've heard about Kalamazoo in the last 24 hours and what was accomplished. We shut down traffic yesterday. We did something that Kalamazoo's never seen before, and it's because of what happened with DACA. I'm going to make some of you uncomfortable for a second.
All right, see you, everybody. Have a good day.
Good. Before this started, we had a wonderful woman named Emily Demarest speak. And it's my job to continue this message as a white person to other white people. The message yesterday was that sharing Facebook posts is not enough. Okay? I thank you for doing it, but we need to do more. We need to stand up for them and show them that we're here for them. That we mean liberty for all. That we mean that we welcome them, that we love them. They are here, they are scared, And it is our job to stand up for them and use our privilege and our rights that they do not have for them.
Amen.
Yesterday I was arrested with 7 other people for holding a line across Kalamazoo and Michigan Ave. It was very last minute. We knew for about 2 days that we were going to do this. Our parties are not doing enough. Our Democrats need to do more. They say they're for the people, then they need to fight harder. We have people dying at the borders. Children are at risk right now. Children. We are fighting over race. And it's 2017.
We are more than our skin.
Yes. The other thing that happened in Kalamazoo that made me realize how much privilege I have. We just had 5 young black people die in a car accident the other day. The vehicle imploded. And the community is not rallying around them like they did when we had the shooting. Donations aren't being flooded into those families. Support is not being flooded into those families. And when I talk to this community, I'm asking them what's going on, and they aren't given what we're given. When I was in school, we had people die, and we had so many social workers come in and so many people with programs come in to help us, and they're not receiving that. That's not right. Can I get all of you to say with me that that's not right? That's not right. Thank you. That's our job. When we see something that is not right happening, we say that's not right, and we push for it. We push for what's right. We fight for them.
We have a responsibility.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
I was not raised to stand on the sidelines while people suffered. And there are millions suffering worldwide. I don't know how many of you are environmentalists here, but we have a huge, huge environmental fight that we need to be fighting right now, and they are using this racist bullcrap to distract us.
Yep.
We need to boycott those companies together. We need to stand united. We need to let love trump hate. And we need to quit playing white saviors. These communities know what they need. We need to listen to them. We need to let them guide us and just be there for them. Quit telling them what they need to do when you go in and see what's wrong. Because what's wrong is what we helped place there by being silent. White silence is violence. If you do not take a side, now you are taking a side.
Yes.
And you are taking the wrong side. It is your place as a white person to go to the rest of your family that makes you feel uncomfortable with their racist comments, and you tell them they're wrong.
Yes.
You tell them they're wrong.
As a privileged person,
Yes.
here are my hands. What can I do to help?
Exactly. As privileged people, yesterday I'm out of jail already. If I weren't white, where would I be right now?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'd be alive, to be honest. We literally blocked traffic. And the whole point of it was that white lives are put before others. That we always put ourselves first, but we don't put ourselves in front of others. And we need to do that. I really feel that if we weren't white, that the cars would have encroached on us more. There would have been more intimidation. I'm not sure how peaceful some of the police would have been with us. And that's the message that I need to send today, is we need to do more than just hold signs at these rallies. We need to go to our congressmen's doors. We need to go to their offices. We need to bug them every darn day, and we need to vote people like them on both sides out and get the people that are here doing this in. So thank you. Also, this was a coalition. So if you're in groups right now that are sitting here saying, I don't want to work with other people because you don't get along, we don't have that option right now. That is not progressive. That is not unity. We do not have that option to put our career first. These people are not money tags their lives, and we need to put that in front of their faces. Thank you. Please go in here, yell at them, let them know that you're going to use your privilege. You're going to boycott their businesses. You're not going to support them anymore. Fred Upton is from my district, and he helped harm a lot of you, and he'll do it again. And so will his supporters. So we need to tell Snyder, who Trump supports, and through who Upton supports, that we don't support Trump at all. Thank you.
No fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate. 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 Okay, we have our next speaker, and I do apologize to the speakers, but if you could keep your statements relatively brief, then we can get through everyone in less than an hour. Okay, everybody? Thank you.
Good afternoon, my fellow resistors. I'm Dr. D.L.T. Moore. I'm the pastor of Mount Olive Multicultural Community Church in Troy, Michigan. When I sat down to jot some notes on the issues that I would try to address today, I looked at my husband, who's out there now, and I told him that I was having a very difficult time because there were so many different issues, I didn't know where to start. His answer to me was, that's exactly where you start. And I agreed. So I'll say it again. There's so many issues I don't know where to start. I don't know where I can possibly begin explaining why I believe Trump and this entire administration are a dire threat to democracy, to equality, and to human rights. I don't know where to start listing reasons why a man who through word and deed has proven that he is a bigoted, racist, sexist, xenophobic, homophobic, megalomaniac, can't possibly be the Christian that he and his supporters claim him to be. When I stood in this very space on December 19th of last year, imploring the Electoral College members to open their minds and hearts to the people of Michigan and to the overall well-being of the country, in general, it fell on deaf ears. They voted for the hate, the impunity, the inequality that has been unleashed on our United States. Today I'm back to try it again. I'm asking our Michigan lawmakers to examine the direction in which our country is headed and prepare to take the proper measures to respond accordingly. I watched yesterday as Fox commentators and like-minded supporters of the current president's plans for DACA spoke about the U.S. being a law and order country and about how those who have been protected by DACA were in fact breaking the law. I was shocked as I listened to the same individuals who profess Christianity wax poetic about how others were being disobedient to the law. I'd like to remind them and our Christian Michigan legislators as they convene that our entire foundation, the entire foundation of our faith, rests on the idea that someone laid down their life for us because we were disobedient to the law.
That's right.
We were dreamers who wished to one day migrate to a place where we would attain freedom and eternal life. So our loving Savior provided us a path to citizenship, and he has never turned us away. I'm asking our Michigan lawmakers to position themselves to act in the best interests of our state and our America before they both become unrecognizable. I could very easily stand here and give a scripture that would counter every single point of the Trump agenda. Instead, I'll mention only two: Matthew 7:12 and Luke 6:31, which are the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Please think about that as you're in session. Please think about that so we can live in an America for which we can be proud. Because in our America, as someone once said, women are in charge of their own bodies, Science is real. Black Lives Matter. Diversity is celebrated. Kindness is everything. And love is love. Thank you.
What? Nothing better to do? Why don't you kick yourself out? You're an immigrant too. Who's using who? What should we do? Well, you can't be a pig and a prostitute too. Come to a bum rock ride with the round up with nobody else. Like a Lord hit the flag with the stone with him. Oh Lord, how to clean up after myself.
Everybody here? Okay. Thanks for coming today. My name is Elon Taylor. We are of Kurdish descent. My brother Cameron Taylor was detained on June 11th with the rest of the Christian immigrants. Sorry, I'm trying to speak up. I'm a little nervous.
It's okay, baby girl.
Okay, that's better. Anyhow, my brother was misclassified for his charges, so he suffered a severe punishment. My brother's lived here in the country since he was 11. We came here as refugees. We fled by foot after the Gulf War, and our father was imprisoned by Saddam Hussein twice. So we are labeled for death if we do go back ever, which can't happen for my brother. He lives an American life. His children are American. His children are born in Michigan, in Ann Arbor. To take their father away would be taking the lives of those kids away.
That's not right.
Sorry, I'm a little emotional. Yeah, we need my brother home for his kids, for the sake of his children. If we are fighting for rights, let's fight for the right of children. Bring their fathers home. Stop tearing up families, traumatizing children, humiliating their wives. My brother was arrested in front of his children twice. My sister-in-law was treated with so much disrespect is beyond describing by federal agents. They come unannounced, intimidate you. They penalize us for speaking up. But we can't let justice go silent. Have to stand up here together, support our families, our children, the future of our children, their health. My nieces and nephews, they're only in elementary and middle-age school, already suffer from depression and PTSD. And we are only setting our future up for failure by traumatizing these children, by tearing up their families and taking their loved ones away to a place they don't know. I'm here today to plead to Governor Snyder to let the innocent people go for the sake of the well-being of the children of this future of our country. What are we setting up for our children? What do we expect them? How will they be functioning adults if we traumatize them at their childhood? Bring our loved ones home so we can continue being the patriots we are. Sorry. I'm Cam's youngest sister. Cam is nothing short of her dad to me when we lost our parents. I am here to urge Governor Snyder to pardon my brother and bring him home. His kids need their father. My sister-in-law needs her husband. He is the sole breadwinner of the family.
He has left his business behind. It's sitting there. No one's there to take care of it except my brother. Sorry, if we could all just get together, this is what America was founded upon. This is a land of just immigrants. It's not right to tear families apart. It's not right to tear people out of here. We all have the same right to be here. I am very grateful for the people who have shown up here to fight for immigrant rights, to fight for our rights in Michigan. It's time that we resist, we stand up, we stop sitting. The more we sit, the more we're saying it's okay. It's not okay, nothing's okay. So please, Governor Snyder, if you can hear us loud and clear that we resist. We do not accept anything that's going on. Please give the pardon to my brother and give them to the innocent people who are detained.
Citizenship now, deportation never. Citizenship now, deportation never. Citizenship now, deportation never. Citizenship now, deportation never. Citizenship now. Is this okay? Okay. My name is Leroy Lewis. I'm from Detroit City. I'm here to represent Stop Trump Ann Arbor and the millions of other people who have decided that inequality, racism, sexism, homophobia, everything that Trump and his administration stand for is not okay, and we're going to fight it today. The Trump administration, his followers, and all those in general who have taken a political and active stance against minorities wish to instill fear, paralyzing fear in the hearts of the young and old minorities in this country who have made America their home. We have promises of diversity, opportunity, and refuge in our country that only this movement takes seriously. Those are the demands of our movement, and the reason that they rely so much on that fear to keep us still, to keep us afraid, is because we can win. We've defeated monsters before. Trump and his administration is not the first set of monsters who have made threats on the people of this nation and of other nations who wish to make America their home. The difference that we have to have in this fight is not just to win a victory here and there, but to create an example on how to stop any inequality before it occurs. This administration supports and follows through on deporting members of families all across the country, even though they are the providers of the house, even though it means sending them to their deaths in other countries. Some of them have not been to those countries in years. Some of them have been here 10 years or more. Some of them are just getting here. They have the right to choose where they stay, where they live, where they plant roots at, and what opportunities they make for themselves and their families, and it's our job to support them. Our task of defending past victories of the movement and of obtaining future victories is completely within our reach. I'm so happy that everybody came out today to fight the Trump administration, but also the American tension that's existed for as long as any of us have been alive, and our grandparents and their parents. Our movement looks towards a future, a bright and full future that has room for everyone. The opponents who we face today have already accepted defeat, and they cling to bitter hatred in their final hour. Racist, misogynistic values that their parents were shamed for and defeated in the last civil rights movement. Yeah, we've beaten monsters before. The goal we must have now is to make them remember who won the last Civil War, who won the last civil rights movement. Everybody, keep fighting after today. Create a rapid response team in your community. Reach out to other communities. Let's have a mass meeting at least once a month to give ourselves updates and to give newer people who are joining our new movement every day a place to feel welcome and safe and strong in this country that is continuously attacking everyone who wishes to be on the right side of history. So today, raise your fist with me, and let's keep fighting until we win.
All right, guys. Next, I have a statement from Gisela Anguiano Sanchez. Jose Luis Sanchez Ronquillo is an Ann Arbor resident of 20 years with 2 American-born children, Charlie right here, with no criminal record, that was recently deported from Ann Arbor. And we fought like hell to hold on to him. We had his case in front of the Board of Immigration Appeals, and they hadn't ruled on it yet, and ICE secretly deported him behind our backs and behind his lawyers' backs, and we didn't know until he called his wife from Mexico.
That's not right. Good job.
This is Gisela's statement. Jose Luis is desperate to return and be with his kids. He's felt depressed and alone without his family in Mexico. He misses our sons and I because we've always been together as a family. The situation is very difficult for him because it's a totally different experience for him. He's been in the States for 20 years, so he's returning to a country he doesn't even know anymore. And there's no work there. He can't go outside because it's too dangerous. There, they know he's been living in the States, so they think he has money. So he's always at risk of being robbed, and he fears for his safety. This has been a total change for us as a family. Our family has been destroyed. It's been hard for our kids and for me. They have taken away their dad, and my kids have always been close to their dad. We need their dad and my husband home with us. We are still fighting for Jose Luis. His lawyers have filed for humanitarian parole so that he can be allowed back into the country while the Board of Immigration Appeals rules on his case, which they have not done yet. Thank you, and please give a show of support for Charlie and Jose Luis Jr., who are both here today.
Immigrants are welcome here. No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate, no fear.
Our next speaker is Robert Fiddler. We have a few more speakers. Okay, next up is Robert Fiddler. Please stick around to the end because we are going to go inside and deliver our demands to the legislature. We just have a few more speakers. Thank you, everyone. Okay, Robert. And after Robert, we have Danietta Hill. So if you are here, please head up to the front. And I know that Sharmi is here. Okay, why don't we do Sharmi next?
Well now, how you guys doing, huh? Okay. Yeah, right, Grandfather, thank you for delivering us all here safely together today. We pray that you lift the hearts and the minds of the people. Brothers, how you doing? Good. I'm sorry? Good. Sisters? My name's Sharmi Golson. I'm the founder of Michigan Moms United. And I'm here to remind you today that the gateway to earth is inside of our bodies, and that it's the mothers, not the warriors, that give birth to and rise up the nations. I'm also here to remind you that war is bad for all living things and everyone's children, even those that aren't your own. I've been working for 9 years here in Michigan to end the armed invasions of our homes by government agents and the theft of our children. I'm in tears to see all of you here and to see the momentum building and to see the tragedy and the evil grow. That's why you're here. You likely have heard about civil asset forfeiture, reform. I started interviewing mothers, women, in 2009 who registered with the State Medical Marijuana Act to be caregivers for patients and believed the state would protect them. And then they had a Black Hawk helicopter land in their yard, and the guys with guns and masks get out and want to see your legal grow with no warrant.
That's not right.
They take our children, they take our property. I started driving around and just interviewing people. I'm a cop's kid. My father was a Washington County deputy sheriff when I was a little girl. So I did not believe the first 5 or 10 stories that were told to me of these SWAT raids on compliant people with absolutely no criminal intent. The shirt that I'm wearing today is from the Free Bree campaign in 2013.
Yeah!
An Ingham County magistrate, an Ingham County magistrate told my dear sister friend Maria that they were going to come and take her 6-month-old baby because somebody might break into her house to steal the marijuana. He called it, what do you call it, Sammy? He called it intent to neglect.
That's not right.
She intended to neglect her baby. So they came with guns, and they took her. And I videotaped it. She looked at me and said, help me. And I was like, all right, I didn't know what to do. What are you supposed to do? So I videotaped it. We released it to the media. We did a 6-week tour. I filled the courtroom with cameras.
That's
and
right.
they had to give us the baby back.
That's right.
Because they were wrong.
Free.
And because the cameras were there. This is critical. This rapid response team you got going, this is the way to do it. I've been working by myself for a long time. I took white Republican women to their legislators for several years. Preachers' daughters. Yeah, Tea Partiers. With horrific raid stories. We're suing the St. Clair County Drug Task Force right now for this specific raid. Child endangerment, excessive force, and sexual harassment. They'll take your naked pictures. They'll dump your dildos out. Stack them all over the place. If you want more, you can go to Dildos for Justice on Facebook. I got some free stuff. I made like a Facebook page about it. I was like, what are we supposed to do about this?
Dildos for justice.
Dildos for Justice.
Yeah.
Please forgive me, Elder. Please forgive me. So I started the Stop the Raids campaign almost 3 years ago when the Republican legislature, oh, by the way, whose house is this?
Our house!
Whose house?
Our house!
Whose house?
Our house!
I know that's right. And I'm standing here declaring this to you despite the fact that I reached a point years ago where I thought there was no such thing as democracy in this building. Because I took white Republican women to their legislators with horrific raid stories, and they all looked like they cared, and they listened to me. And then I watched Sergeant Amy Denner of the Michigan State Police hand talking points to those men, and they read them, okay? And they generated 8 bills. They needed 2 paragraphs. Just 2 paragraphs. You're probably hearing a lot about civil asset forfeiture reform right now because Jeff Sessions, Trump's Attorney General, wants to re-enliven and reinvigorate the ability for these cops to violate our civil rights of forfeiture. So our legislature generated 8 bills when they needed 2 paragraphs. They just need to put the money in the general fund and require a damn conviction before you take our stuff. But instead they wrote 8 bills. None of them did any of that.
It's not right.
It's not right. So I hope that all of you leave here today with your name on a piece of paper, with this woman's phone number, no, don't take her phone number, with this woman's email in your email box, and you put your money where your mouth is, and you recognize that the arc of justice is very long. We run long and hard and as smart as we can for as long as we can with just our pain and the pain of the people that we're trying to help, and in the end we hand that baton off to the youth, to the new folks like you, and we watch them run away. It's a long arc, but you know, if you've got the heart and the right kind of attitude about it, you can stick it out. I swear to you, it's worth it. Thank you. God bless you all.
Howdy everybody, I am Rob Fiddler from your friendly neighborhood MD Pan. So it seems like, thanks. So it seems like every week under this regime, we wake up to a new facet of a dystopian nightmare. Except none of this is really new, it's just been a few decades since any political figure was so brazen about it. Perhaps not since Andrew Jackson was a president so blatant about the promotion of racism.
Can't even recognize
Yeah,
white supremacy.
White supremacy has been the preeminent stain on this country since its inception. Whether it was slavery, the nativists, the Indian Removal Act, Manifest Destiny, the Confederacy, the Ku Klux Klan, segregation, internment, COINTELPRO, or Guantanamo Bay, this particular evil has always been coddled by the United States. That's why George Wallace got to retire while Martin Luther King Jr. was shot. That's why the current regime saw fit to dredge it all up for a comeback tour, but we can close the curtain on it for good.
Yep.
It starts with the promotion of universal human rights. Regardless of race, gender, sexuality, or religion, you will be recognized as an equal, not just legislatively, but socially.
Yes.
Of course,
Yes.
acknowledgement alone isn't enough. We must dismantle today's engines of oppression.
See them as a regular person, not just as...
Vote suppression is on the rise, always with the goal of targeting communities of color. And our state must follow in Illinois' footsteps and automatically register all eligible voters. A for-profit law enforcement body cannot, by its nature, be relied upon to dispense justice. All attempts must be made to block the sale of military equipment. As the killing of Damon Grimes proves, their current gear is already too lethal. Healthcare must be protected and expanded, particularly for women. Negating the right to choose and consent is among the most insidious means of control. Non-discrimination ordinances must be passed and bolstered to cover the full spectrum of gender and sexuality, as one cannot be free if they're not allowed to be their true selves. Our public schools must be saved, as a well-educated populace is the best defense against the machinations of bigoted demagogues. And if they're worried about funding, try taking some off the top this time. I know Kid Rock and Dan Gilbert got a little extra laying around. Finally, the pogrom initiated by ICE must cease. It is past time to bring our state's families back together. We stand here today on the Capitol steps and demand that our legislature create a free and equal Michigan for the first time. We demand that they reject any federal attempts to subvert our human rights, because anything less than an active resistance to Trump's white supremacist regime will be regarded as complicity.
Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go.
Everybody, I'm Reverend Aaron McCarthy. I was sent here by the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. That's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s organization. If Dr. King was alive today, he'd say, America has no place for racism. America has no place for white supremacy. America has no place for poverty. We are so impoverished in this great state that we're listed, Detroit's listed as the #1 poorest big city in the country. That's Motown, everybody. I come here to tell you and make you aware that now's the time to believe that we can overcome Donald Trump. Now's the time to empower ourselves so that we will be able to overcome Donald Trump and his racist regime. Now is the time to react and then act upon the situations and the conditions that continue to haunt us. America has no place for racism. America has no place for white supremacy. America needs you. We shall overcome. Help me for right here. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. God bless you.
Is Miko Williams here?
Yes.
Go ahead, B.
Thank you. My name is D'Amico Ashawn Williams, and I am the Chief Director of Hydrate Detroit. I deliver emergency water and restore water service to citizens in the city of Detroit that have been dealing with their water shut off. Over the past 3 to 4 years, we have been actively fighting water shutoffs in our own city that has now become the model of privatization and how to steal the biggest resource of water from the people to corporate private hands. We are fighting back against corporatization and privatization of our water here in the city of Detroit and the state of Michigan. As I was coming here today to reflect on what this legislature have done on our water, they have compromised our water and they have attempted to privatize our water. Governor Rick Snyder should be arrested. He should be arrested for what he did to the people of Flint. He should be arrested for what he did to the people of Detroit. Put us in a false man-made bankruptcy, stole $533 million of our bonds to be sold to Wall Street for the next 20 years. Put Flint in a whole situation that is unspeakable. That man should be arrested. And now that we live in Donald Trump's America, water will be privatized and sold to the highest bidder. And where does that leave the people? Let me come to remind you, there will be no pipeline coming here to the state of Michigan or in no DAPL. There will be no pipeline, no Enbridge Line 5. Get that out of our streets right now. I want Nestle water brands to be prosecuted for stealing water out of our lakes and streams, where if they arrest any Detroiters for stealing water, for having access to life that we all share in this one resource. This one resource belongs to the people. It should not be made for profit. And as we go into this house, that is our house. Our house. We are going inside to meet our legislatures and to let them know that they serve us, the people. They serve us. We do not serve them. It is not the other way around. We demand that water should be free and that water should be paid whole to everybody in the state. Now, I need y'all to pay attention because in the next couple of weeks, you're going to see the stirring of the water movement in Detroit and Flint. As you know, yesterday, they started to close the water pods of distribution centers in Flint. That is a very serious situation. Before you go to Hurricane Harvey, which they need help as well, we need to help our own people right here in the state of Michigan. So let's start there in Flint. Then in the city of Detroit, in the next few weeks or so, keep watching because we're getting ready to make a big move to declare water shutoffs are illegal. When you take away water from the people of the city of Detroit and Flint and elsewhere, you are committing mass crimes of genocide. Putting people in financial ruin. This cannot be so in the city of Detroit or the state of Michigan. So I encourage all of you, we stand together to fight. Water is life. Water is life. Water is an essential human right. And water from the river to the sea, water shall be made free. Water is life. Water is life. Water
another name. Representative Ma, Minority United Front, and my name is Rosie Saez. I'm sorry. That would help. I would like to begin with expressing how hard it was to write this speech after what happened yesterday to our people. My brothers and sisters, we are constantly terrorized in vicious attack, not by foreign or domestic enemies, but the aggressor is the person who's supposed to protect everyone, all the Americans. He took the oath.
It's okay.
Yes.
It's okay.
He's not protecting anything.
To protect all of us, citizens, and this great nation. This is heartbreaking.
Yes, it is.
To see the despair in our people and the hopelessness. But I know that this is not America.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
This is not the American that sought me, that opened his doors and let me walk in and fulfill my dreams and become the first female in my family to graduate from college. This is not America. This is not the values that I embrace every time that I hear the national anthem and tears just pour out of my eyes. This is not America. Nevertheless, this is not going to define us, because our people is resilient. And I still believe in the dream. I still believe in the goodness of the citizen of America.
Yes.
Yes.
I believe in the resilience of each and all, everyone in this room, that we will not let us down. I know that you will rise up and help us all, because no human being is illegal. And I also promise to the people who've been killed by white supremacists, from our people, we will not be silenced. We will not be in the shadows anymore. Children and women and men have been trafficked they've been human trafficked. I promise we will not be silenced anymore. We will not be in the shadows anymore. And I promise children that fear every day to be separated from their families. And for those who that was so hard to bear, the pain to be separated from their families who committed suicide, children themselves, I promise to you, we will not be silenced. We will not be in the shadows anymore. Even though we cannot change the color of our skin or the geographic location that God put us in, but one thing that we can change is the complicity of people just sitting down. If you sit down, you are endorsing racism. It all starts with us. So if you want to help, get out there. Don't just post on Facebook. Don't just sit and think what you're going to do. Get out there and work. And let's give back the country that I dream of. Let's give my grandchildren the America that I grew up. Thank you very much.
Okay, seated forward here. Aaron Martinez. Okay, we're gonna go to Cindy Louise from Refuse Fashion. And if TJ Kimball is here, please come up.
Hi,
just found out on the way here that I was going to have to do this. So I work with, my name's Cindy Luis, I work with the Detroit chapter of Refuse Fascism. This is the overriding slogan and mission of Refuse Fascism. This nightmare must end. The Trump-Pence regime must go. In the name of humanity, we refuse to accept a fascist America. And we can't wait. Immigrants can't wait. The dreamers can't wait. Muslims can't wait. The millions of people who are being cut off welfare and health care can't wait. Women and LGBTQ people cannot wait. The Black and Latino youth who have found themselves the subject of a president that gives a green light for them to be treated by police like Freddie Gray was treated in Baltimore can't wait. The people of Korea can't wait, and the whole planet can't wait.
Human beings can't wait.
Human beings, humanity can't wait. This nightmare must end, and millions feel this and ache with the question about how to stop this nightmare. These are our people. These are our resources. Who's going to end the nightmare? We are. And I'm reading from this. You've got it, so sing along. On November 4th, this is what Refuse Fascism is putting out there. It's what we intend to do, and it's what we invite everybody, whatever our differences, somebody spoke to that there's different organizations here. This has got to be our unifying mission because, like I said, we can't wait. On November 4th, we will gather in the streets and public squares of cities and towns across this country. At first, many thousands declaring that this whole regime is illegitimate and that we will not stop until our single demand is met. This nightmare must end. The Trump-Pence regime must go.
Yes.
Our protest must grow day after day and night after night, thousands becoming hundreds of thousands and then millions, determined to act to put a stop to the grave danger that this Trump-Pence regime poses to the world by demanding that this whole regime, all of it, be removed from power.
Yep.
Our actions will reflect the values of respect for all of humanity and the world we want, in stark contrast to the hatred and bigotry of this regime, which is fascist. It's where it's going. There's nothing Trump has said and many more things that he hasn't said that he won't do. Our determination to persist and not back down will compel the whole world to take note. Every force and faction in the power structure would be forced to respond to our demand. The cracks and divisions among them, already evident, would sharpen and widen. And all of this could lead to a situation where this illegitimate regime is removed from power. So we're calling on you. There's people out here with sign-up sheets. We're going to try and meet with anybody who wants to in the subway over here. But to get on board with this, you know, people have been protesting. They've been pouring their hearts out for this. You know, I'm really glad you're doing this here, and I'm really glad to be here. And at the same time, this is not a government as usual, and our protest can't be as usual. And that's what we're trying to, you know, we're not trying to, we're setting our determination on this against all opposition, that this fall we're going to start a movement for how many months it takes to bring this regime out of power. And so that's what I got to say.
We have one final brief statement, then we're going to be heading in.
Hi. I didn't really plan to come up here, but I just thought I'd have some insight into some things. I'm Sammy. I'm 24 years old. I'm from Ann Arbor, Michigan, and I'm adopted. And I come from a very large family. My stepdad is Mexican, and my mom is German. I had two grandparents from her side who both fought in World War II. One for America and one for Germany. And I can tell that everyone already knows what happened in World War II when someone fought for Germany. But The thing that many people don't know is that he hated it. Growing up with him, I would ask him all the time, why? Why would he fight for someone like that? And he told me he didn't want to. He was forced to. See, my grandpa, Opa, he was 94 when he died. He was blind, but he would always tell you that you look beautiful no matter what. He had the biggest heart of gold. I don't know why this is happening again, but it makes me really sad to see. And it hurts, because I know that both of them, if they were alive, they'd hate it. My grandparents are immigrants, and they lived through World War II. Why would we make someone, anyone, have to live through this again? Why would we have to make people live through World War II again? I understand that people say love will make it. And God, I hope they're right. I hope that with love and with courage that we can make it, and that we can stop this before it gets any worse.
All right, everyone. I think it's time to go inside and show them that they represent real people. So be as loud as you can and chant with me. No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here.
No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome.
Just so everybody's aware, there's no banners inside, so please take your signs and leave them outside. There's no banners inside.
Excuse me, ma'am, may I speak, please? I'm a United States citizen. Hi, everybody. My name is Crystal. Let me speak, please. Hello, everybody. I would like to speak, please, and I would like to get your attention, everybody. I am a United States citizen, and I have a lot to say. I am also a mother. I have graduated from Michigan State University with a bachelor's degree in food systems economics and management. I also have a master's degree in labor employment relations and economics with the University of Cincinnati. I am originally from Detroit, Michigan. My family was poor. We lived in the projects, or what people call the ghetto. Now, I would like to speak a little bit longer, please, if you may. If you ever have your attention. I'm sorry.
Speak, sister, speak.
Thank you. I am also against hate. Please understand that. Please understand that. Now I'm going to tell you what has happened to me and my family. My name, once again, is Crystal McLemore Burns, and I am 52 years old. I have been tortured right here in America. What do I mean by tortured? I'm a runner. I run 3 miles a day when I was 40 years old. I am from, like I said, Detroit, Michigan. I used to be married, 13 years of marriage, to Melvin Cleveland Burns II. He was a city manager. We believe in helping people. We were Democrats. So what happened to us? We must explain this. He also has a master's degree in Ohio State University. We have one child together. We work for the American dream. We work very hard and long hours. He has almost 20 years of a city manager experience. We have been in Ohio as well. We are not divorced. Now let me continue, please. Pardon me? Okay, please let me, okay, if we want to go inside, I would like to tell you the whole story, please. Because I think it's very important that these people understand it. Like I said, we have one child. Her name is Christina Marie Burns. She is a genius. Some people say we are too. She is a 4.0 when I had her. Now, people are saying, where is my daughter, who is now 17 years old? I have been looking and asking, please give me my daughter. I am a loving, nurturing mother. So why is there a problem in the court systems? We read it in the paper. No one is doing anything about it. I have made police reports. They tell me that there's no reports being made. I have been cut in the face from my nose to my lip, right in the crease of both sides. And they have put peroxide on it. I have been hit in the head. Now how can all of this happen? And I'm not fighting, and no police are helping me. Because see, what I want to bring your attention to, everybody, and I don't want to do the investigation to the police, but I have made a comment to Bill Shooting, a 12-page comment regarding my minor daughter in terms of where is her location. I have not seen her in almost 6 years. 6 years. She gives me a call. She gives me a call when? On a telephone number that she should not have. A 517 Lansing number. I've been in Muskegon, and I came and I've been living outside. Some of you might know me with my cart. For 2.5 years, outside.
We at the Capitol. We going inside.
Now, also let me continue to talk. December the 31st, at 12:58, my daughter called me. That is January the 1st. I immediately called 911 because she was scared. I called the Meridian Township Police, and one officer named Doug Strout came to my attention. I saw 2 East Lansing police come as apparently my daughter was calling me. Scared, wanting to help, get some help. From me, of course, her loving mother. So what happened after that? Officer Strout took my, what I thought was my report, and he said something so derogatory that I don't even want to repeat it. So he indicated that she would be in Muskegon, because that's where my ex-husband is originally from, Muskegon Heights, when she is 19 years old and she was 16 years old. So he knows about her whereabouts. But do I know anything? No, I don't. So what else has happened? I was falsely accused of a 911 call and locked in prison, like a Stephen Bigo in the city of Lansing.
No fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate. 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 No fear. No hate. No fear. Immigrants are welcome here. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate. No fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate. No fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate. No fear. Immigrants are welcome here.
Well, y'all go on inside. Y'all go ahead. I'll wait up here. I'll wait.
Okay. No fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate. 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 No fear.
Immigrants are welcome here. No